All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to crack open the private journal of a Roman emperor to see if we can find a practical guide for living in the modern world. Let's dive into How to Live Like an Emperor, a guide to Marcus Aurelius. So let's start with the big question. Imagine for a second that you're the most powerful person on the planet, but your world, it's constantly on fire. We're talking nonstop war on the frontiers, a plague wiping out millions, and to top it all off, betrayal from your most trusted general. I mean, this was the actual reality for Marcus Aurelius. So how on earth did he manage to keep it together to find any kind of peace in all of that chaos? Well, the answer is his philosophy. But look, this wasn't some academic thing he studied in a quiet library. For Marcus, Stoicism was a real-world operating system for his mind. And the notes he wrote down, the book we now call Meditations, well, he never meant for us to see it. It was his private journal, his set of reminders to himself, forged in the heat of unbelievable pressure. So, where do we even begin with this stuff? We start with the absolute bedrock of his entire system, the idea that your mind is a fortress. The Stoics had a great name for it. They called it the inner citadel, the one and only place in the entire universe that you have total control over, the one place you can protect from all the chaos outside. And that leads us to maybe the most famous Stoic idea of all, the dichotomy of control. It's so simple, but it changes everything. Okay, look at the column on the left. Your thoughts, your judgments, your actions. That's it. That's your kingdom. That's where 100% of your energy needs to go. Now look at the right. External events, what other people think of you, your health, your reputation, all of it. Yeah, you can influence these things, maybe, but you can never, ever truly control them. So worrying about them, it's literally just draining your battery for no reason. Marcus had to remind himself of this all the time. Think about it like this. Getting stuck in traffic doesn't make you angry. Your judgment that the traffic is a terrible, horrible disaster, that's what makes you angry. The event itself is neutral. Once you truly get that, once you realize your power lies in your response, that's when you find your strength. You take your power back. Okay, so you know where to focus your energy now, on what you can control. But what do you do then? How do you guide your actions? What tells you which way to go? Well, you need a compass. And for the Stoics, that compass was virtue. And the best part is, that entire moral compass, it boils down to just 4 simple principles. Just 4 virtues that, for Marcus and the Stoics, were the complete blueprint for a good life. And here they are. First, wisdom. That's about seeing things clearly, as they really are, without the drama our emotions add. Then there's justice, which is about treating other people right, with fairness and kindness. Third, courage. This one's huge. Doing the right thing, especially when it's scary or difficult. And finally, temperance. Basically, self-control. Mastering your own desires instead of being a slave to them. For Marcus, living by these 4 things, that was the whole ballgame. That was the only thing that was truly good. And this quote just hits it right on the head. The whole point is to stop theorizing. Stop debating endlessly about what it means to be a good person. Just be one. Every decision, every action is a chance to practice. So that brings us to the really practical stuff. How do you actually use this day to day? Because Stoicism isn't just a philosophy you believe in, it's something you do. It's a daily workout for your mind, a whole toolkit for building and defending that inner citadel. And the routine is actually pretty simple. You start in the morning preparing your mind for what's ahead. Marcus would literally think about the annoying, frustrating people he was probably going to deal with that day, so he wouldn't be surprised. Then, throughout the day, your job is to see every obstacle not as a problem, but as a chance to be virtuous, a chance to practice courage, or justice, or patience. And then at night, you reflect. How'd I do today? Where did I get it right? Where did I fall short? And how can I be just a little bit better tomorrow? It's a constant loop of practice and improvement. Now, one of the most powerful tools in this kit is something called amor fati, a love of fate. This doesn't mean you just sit back and let things happen to you. No, it's an active, powerful embrace of whatever comes your way. That big project at work that just failed, that's not a disaster. It's a masterclass in resilience. That person who drives you crazy, they are your personal trainer for developing patience. You don't just tolerate what happens, you learn to love it because it's the very thing that makes you stronger. And here's another key tool, memento mori. It means remember you will die. Okay, I know that sounds super dark, but stick with me because it's actually the opposite. It's a tool for creating focus and priority. When you remember that your time here is finite, you suddenly stop wasting it on petty arguments, on holding grudges, on things that just don't matter. It gives your life an incredible sense of clarity and urgency. So, how do you start? Where do you begin? You start by understanding that this isn't a finish line you cross. Living like an emperor, living like a Stoic, means signing up for a lifelong practice of trying to be a little bit better. And this is maybe the most important thing to remember. Marcus Aurelius needed to write meditations for himself because he wasn't perfect. He struggled with this stuff every single day. He got angry, he got frustrated, he lost his temper. The goal isn't to be a perfect sage. The goal is just to make progress. The value is in the trying. So we're going to end with a challenge, a question for you. Think about your life right now. What's one obstacle, one frustration, one thing that's getting in your way? Okay, got it? Now, how can you reframe it? How can you see it not as a roadblock, but as the path itself, as the perfect opportunity that life has given you to practice courage or wisdom or patience? That's the first step. That's where the work begins.